Your Honor, and other participants of the court,
Ваша честь, участники судебного заседания.
I grew up in a normal household in Houston, Texas, with my siblings and my mom and my dad. My mom stayed at home, took care of me and my sister, and my dad, he went to work and provided for our family. My parents taught me two important things. One, take ownership for your responsibilities, and two, to work hard for everything that you have. That's why I pled guilty to my charges. I understand everything that's being said against me, the charges that are against me, and that is why I pled guilty. But I had no intent to break any Russian laws. I want the court to understand that it was an honest mistake that I made while rushing under stress, trying to recover from post-COVID, and just trying to get back to my team. So that hard work that my parents instilled in me is what brought me to play for the best EuroLeague and Russian team here at Ugemka. I want to apologize to my teammates, my club, Ugemka, the fans, and the city of ECAT for my mistake that I made and the embarrassment that I brought onto them. I never meant to hurt anybody. I never meant to put in jeopardy the Russian population. I never meant to break any laws here. I want to also apologize to my parents, my siblings, my Phoenix Mercury organization back at home, the amazing women of the WNBA, and my amazing spouse back at home.
On February 17th, 2020, the two-time Olympic champion gold medalist Britteny Griner was returning for another season with her team in the Euros, the city of Yekaterinburg. In Russia, she earns a minimum of $1 million per season. That's 4 times what she earns in the WNBA. She landed in Sheremetyevo Airport, which is in the northwest of Moscow, and a sniffer dog detected something in her luggage. It was vape cartridges containing hashish oil, which hashish is a compound of marijuana. These are illegal in Russia. Her crime was trafficking drugs, basically bringing them across the border into Russia. In August, she was sentenced to 9 years of a possible 10 years sentence in prison. This was after already admitting her guilt and apologizing, as we have just seen. However, Britteny should never have been in court, not like this, and definitely not in court in August. The following information that I'm going to give you guys comes from a couple of months of study, and research, like I mentioned at the top of the show. It comes from her legal team office here in Moscow. It comes also from her club in Yekaterinburg and officials there. It comes from a prosecution lawyer in a prosecutor's office in the region of Sheremetyevo. It comes from senior officers, 2 senior officers from the Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It also comes via the US Embassy here in Moscow and a State Department official in Washington who was cooperating with the embassy here in Moscow. First thing, that there were rumblings. These are mentioned by a number of online kind of bloggers or experts or commentators, and even in some kind of respectable US sports media, that she was going to be getting out early only if she would coach a team. Okay, that rumbling or that rumor began in America. It did not begin in Russia. It was never on the table. It's been denied by her lawyers, and it has been denied by everybody involved in this really sad situation. Okay, it was never on the topic. It was never a topic for discussion here in Russia, not once, not ever. From the beginning until now, the US Embassy have provided regular support. These include weekly visits. These include aid packages, as it does, they told me, as it does to all their citizens in custody or in jail. They have been providing Britteny with, for example, food, medication, clothes, and books. They have also coordinated with a religious group who a Christian religious group who work with prisoners as well, and they have assisted in providing for her as well. So there were these things being said. She was a hostage, she was losing weight and so on. This is never the case. These are simply fantastical ideas of people who want to get their name out in the media. The third point and most important point of all that I'm going to bring to you, and this is going to surprise them. I'm waiting for the reaction from Iseult and Andrew. In April and May this year, 2022, remember she came in 1 week before the so-called special military operation began in Ukraine, when all travel and contact was severely damaged, disrupted, and cancelled in most places, and actually not accessible. So in April and May of this year, a meeting was held between high-ranking officers or officials from the US State Department. This was via representatives in the United Nations in New York, but these officials met with a Russian representative to the United States. They want to discuss her case. In the first meeting in April, the Russian representative was empowered to make an offer to progressively, this is the word that they use, progressively release her, to move her back little by little, to get her out on partial release, day release, and so on and so forth. So there's like a progression process that they use, and all countries use the same thing as well for people who are getting out of jail. That they would have her home by Christmas. This was the promise. They would have her back to her family by Christmas. The US officials demanded an immediate release, and for that immediate release, they were going to exchange a hostage. The hostage wasn't mentioned. People believe it was, well, I was told by her lawyer's office that it could be Victor Bout, but that name was never mentioned. Nobody knows who it is, but she was going to be traded for one person, not the progressive release. Step forward then after the May holidays, because of course Russia closes down from the 1st till usually the 10th of May, because they've got two holidays: the 1st of May, which is of course the International Workers' Day, and the 9th of May, which is Victory Day, Victory in World War II Day. So after those May holidays, when people came back to work, there was a second meeting, again in the United States. The Russian official said that they would have her home by the end of September, if the United States, one condition that the United States would stop calling her wrongfully detained. And other people were using harsher words, that she was illegally detained, that she was a political prisoner, and that she was a political pawn, and so on and so forth. They just said, stop using this language, which began on May 3rd. May 3rd, the White House said it when the Russians weren't able to answer at the moment because everyone was on holidays. The State Department said that they were only empowered to make a prisoner exchange. And this, the fourth point in this, that I was told that there is a constant and continuing back channel between the two sides, and that the offer is still available and applicable.